goes to 4-0 on the season. Midweek baseball is back. Tennessee, UNC Asheville, 10-3. Tonight's Tennessee takes care of business. Appreciate you guys tuning in on here. We're going to try to do as much live baseball as possible throughout this season. And posted a link to in the chat, the channel Patreon. Definitely trying to pedal that out for $1 a month on it. I am kind of looking at possibly the UCLA game. Maybe we do a watch party on that. I've not done that on this channel yet. Kind of thinking about it. Could be fun. You guys are members, Patreon members. I'll send you a link. Bring some of you on, man. We'll chat some baseball. Could be a fun time on there for sure. But Tennessee got down in this one. Too. I laugh because the announcers, a second inning is just like, oh, we've got a shocker going on. It's like, it's the second inning, man. But it's fun. I like midweek baseball. I don't know. Those to me, and you know, I would not be surprised at some point if Tennessee doesn't lose one of these midweek games. It happens almost every year. I think 2022, if I'm not mistaken, is the only one I can remember that they did not lose a midweek game. It just happens. But UNC Asheville 10-3 on this one tonight. Einlander 33. It should have been 11-3. I totally agree, and we'll talk about that one here in a minute as well. I was not surprised with Blaine Brown. I talked about it Sunday that I thought based on when I did the weekend recap, I talked about it. I said I thought that based on Josh Elander's comments, we may see Blaine Brown as the opener, and he sure was. And man, what a show he put on as the opener tonight as well. One inning, 16 pitches, 10 strikes, 3 strikeouts. That is a very, very loud entrance into it. But what surprised me was I thought based on the comments Saturday, because Cameron Appenzeller threw 2 innings on Saturday, and Josh Elander made the comment, said we brought him here to throw weekends. Well, he come out through 4 innings tonight. Threw a little bit of a rough start. UNC Asheville got a couple runs off of him early, but that was it. I mean, he shut him down after that. 56 pitches, 34 strikes, 2 hits, 2 runs. They were earned 1 walk, 4 strikeouts in 4 innings. We saw Mark Hendy. I kind of wondered, again, I was kind of curious to see how they would go. I thought it would be predominantly freshmen tonight, but Hendy did not throw this weekend. He's the transfer from Duke, comes over. He's kind of considered that crafty dude, so to speak. We saw a little bit of him, 1 inning, 1 walk along the way for him. We saw Ethan Bioto. I was curious. I wanted to see him, and he looked good in his inning. He did give up the 1 hit, but he had 2 strikeouts and 4 batters. Gave up the 1 double, which was got a ground out, got 2 strikeouts, 12 pitches, 9 strikes on it. If you would have told me we would see Taylor Tracy on the mound before we saw him at the plate, I would be pretty surprised by that. Let's hit some comments here to see who we all got in here. What's up, Herb? Good to see you in here, man. Thanks for doing the baseball. Yeah, man, these are fun. I told a friend of mine who is kind of my source on UT baseball, a pretty good source, by the way. Thought, man, I don't know. I've just gotten burned out on football and basketball. I just, for some reason, have. But baseball being back, I love it. It's rejuvenated me. The nice weather today, it had to have been perfect weather for baseball in Knoxville. And I don't know what the wind was like, but as far as just the weather in general, this is baseball weather. It's great. Kerry Carson says, go Big Orange. What's up, man? Vols, Titans. Here says, heck yeah, post-game live. Let's do it, man. We've got 40 of you in here now. Hit that like. Share it out, man. If you guys know, this is your place to come chat Tennessee baseball on it. Most consistent. And, I hate to – I don't want to – I'll put my content up against anybody on baseball. I just will on that. Tango Yankee 7 says Vols looking deep yet again. Appenzeller really settled in after the second. Totally agree on that one. Once he gave up the couple runs, he kind of settled in. Then his next 3 innings were really good on that. They're deep. I mean, we saw this. I don't know, man. There's some. I'm curious to see what this lineup is going to look like a month from now. If guys hit like they did tonight, you're going to have a hard time making some changes. If some guys hit like they did over the weekend, it's going to be interesting to see where they're at, because you got Blake Grimmer's going to be coming back from injury. Garrett Wright's going to be coming back from injury as well. So where do those guys factor in with it? Hill Vol fan, what's up? Member of the channel, man. Said very good game. Shaky. Top of the second. We left 8 on base, but besides that, very good. Yeah. Definitely some it was not a perfect night by any means on that one. Mentioned the runners left on base. That was ended up 8 on the night. There was a couple at bats I was really not too enthused about tonight from them, especially when one I can think of, I can't remember the inning. Now it was one of the latter innings, but you had Henry Ford on third, Blaine Brown on second. It was right after Blaine Brown doubled, 1 out, and Levi Clark goes up there swinging for the downs and strikes out. I thought that was a poor at bat from him. It was because he fouled the first pitch off. He swung at one the dirt, and then he swung at one about shoulder high on it. That was a really poor at bat, and against a good team, that could come back to bite you. It didn't tonight. And then Reese Chapman Reese put the ball in play, made him make a play on it. They just got the out at first. But the key to me was that 1 out, striking out and not getting it in. And now, and let's make no mistake about it either. Tennessee got bailed out a couple times because UNC Asheville lost the ball in the lights. Jay Abernathy popped up to center. I think it would have gotten Stone Lawless in. I thought based on where the guy come in and lost it at, it looked like it was a shallow one, but based on where it hit, it looked like it would have probably definitely got it in. So you've at least got to get the sack fly on that. I'm trying to think where else they went. Antigua, I'll go through the offense here in a minute. I thought there were some good at-bats tonight. There were some I was not that thrilled about either. That's baseball for you. Talked about this one earlier. I thought on the one where Jay Abernathy got the triple and he came home. Some of you guys can correct me on this one. I never saw him get tagged. I know they said the catcher acted like he got him. What catcher is not going to act like he made the tag there? I never saw him touch him. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. JL, member of the channel, says, go Big Orange. Yeah, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Some of you have already answered. Tennessee did win 10-3 tonight. Took care of business on that one. Got down 2-0, but then that they took care of business after business-like approach tonight for sure. What's up, Kaysen? 10-3. Yeah, man. Love baseball. Love that baseball's here. Just the talk about it. I pretty much talk baseball with people year-round on it. Love football. I like basketball. I'll be honest. I'm not as big of a basketball fan. I love Tennessee basketball. Basketball in general, just I don't know, man. I was spoiled by my younger days on it. That's kind of the old crank in me, I guess, with it. But Tennessee basketball. Hopefully, we can get back into some Tennessee basketball live. Definitely will with tournaments and stuff coming up. It's just, I don't know. I've really not felt like doing it, just to be honest with you. And but baseball, we're going with that. I called it here over right before season prediction. I'm predicting this team can win a national championship on it. Yes, we've seen Nichols. Yes, we've seen UNC Asheville. I don't care. You take what's given to you. The starting rotation over the weekend was excellent. The bats were good. There was a lot of good in the lineup over the weekend. Again, you come out of the weekend, there were some averages hovering around 100. And if some of those guys don't hit, there will be guys there to take their place on it for sure. Let's see. What's up, Devin Arnold? Good to see you in here, man. Blaine Brown looked good on the mound, small samples. Yeah, he did. I don't know how much we'll see him overall, but if he looks like that, I would have him ready to go. He was excellent tonight. No doubt about it. Blaine Brown's going to be a stud this year. I predicted he's going to lead the team in home runs. I think I picked him. I didn't pick him to RBIs. I can't remember if I went him or Ford with hits. I definitely picked Blaine Brown to lead the team in home runs. there as well. I thought he had some at-bats that weren't that great tonight, but he did come through with the double. And that's baseball. There's going to be those nights. But this dude's an athlete, man. He's a stud. He's going to look pretty good. He's going to have some really good nights there either. Yeah, how do I forget Papa J? I'm having a brain fade, Papa J. My fault there. Dude, that play to end the game was sick. I totally agree. Hunter High made a great play on that play at the end. Excellent job with the stretch. Excellent job keeping his foot on the base. Okay, all right. I never could really tell it, so that makes sense on that one there. All caught up on the comments there. Again, hit that like. Share it out. Share it out. I've got 51 in here. Not bad for baseball. Hopefully, as we go along, we get into some of these bigger games, we can get some bigger crowds in here as well. And don't forget your super chat, your super thanks options as well. Those are greatly appreciated. They do go to help the channel as well. That's something that would be appreciated on there as well. Let's get into the offense tonight, though. Pretty similar lineup from what we saw over the weekend. Henry Ford, 2 for 5, hit a home run tonight. Looked like maybe benefited some wind tonight, but it is what it is. He also had a double on the night, 2 RBIs for him, 412 average on the season. Blaine Brown, 1 for 5, had an RBI, did have the double. 1 strikeout was later on, left 1 on base, 474 average for him. Levi Clark, he started off with a double in the first inning, 1 for 4, scored a run. Did have 2 strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch once as well. Again, if I take it away, I don't know. When you get guys on second and third with 1 out, you just got to put the ball in play instead of up there swinging for the fences. It's what it is. Hunter High did come in and play first late. Again, made a heck of a stretch and a play there at the end on it. Clark, his average is 200 now in the season. And some of you disagree. Well, we disagreed over the weekend. I didn't think Clark was perfect over the weekend, but I thought he hit the ball really hard and it didn't get down. Sometimes I thought his weekend was better than what his average showed on that. I really did. I thought he hit some seeds and they just either Nichols made plays on him or it was right at him. I didn't think his average was an indication of how he swung the bat over the weekend. But looking at it as well, so you had Reese Chapman, 1 for 4 on night. He had a walk, had a run, scored. Icefelder come in for him later on. No at-bats for him. Stone Lawless, I'd say you got to give him probably your player of the game, tied 2-2. He hits that 3-run bomb, puts Tennessee up in the 3rd inning. After Tennessee had come back in the 2nd inning and tied it up when Jay Abernathy drove in. Let's see, who was it? Newstrom got the sac fly. Jay Abernathy drove in. I think it was Tyler Myatt, if I'm not mistaken, on that. So that tied the game up. Come in the 3rd inning. Got a couple guys on, and Stone Lawless hits that bomb, makes it 5-2. Tennessee never looked back after that one. But another good night for Stone Lawless, who's hitting 375, 1 for 2, 3 runs scored. He had 3 RBIs, had a home run, had a walk, had a hit by pitch as well. Grinlinger come in later on. He was 1 for 1. Grinlinger's hitting 600 in his at-bats. Tyler Myatt started at second tonight. And this is a guy, good luck keeping him out of the lineup. 1 for 3, went opposite field in his first at-bat, got the double. He scored a run. Did have a strikeout, was hit by a pitch. He's hitting 429. So I don't see how you're going to keep Tyler Myatt out of the lineup. I just don't. He the way he hit it, I mean, he had some loud shots over the weekend. He had some good at-bats tonight as well. I just think it's going to be hard when it's all said and done to keep him out of it. But, looking at it as well, so you had Finley Bates come in for him later on. He pinch hit, and then he played second base. Finley Bates, key and turned that double. Finley Bates made a couple nice plays in the 9th inning. He made that play up the middle and then made the play that flipped for the double play there as well. Good night for him. Chris Newstrom, 1 for 3, had an RBI. I thought Chris Newstrom swung the bat well tonight. He did have one strikeout, but his other bats, he had a sac fly, and he hit some deep shots as well. I think that was a good sign the way he swung the bat tonight. Jay Abernathy had a really good night. 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, a double, a triple, 308 for him. And then Ariel Antigua. I had some people saying over the weekend he should never play again. And I said, that's ridiculous over one game because the guy had played – I go back to the summer. He went off and played really well in the summer. He played really well in the fall. He played well leading up to it. He had a good night Friday night. Saturday was not a good day. It was not a banner day to plate for him, but you're not going to turn around and bench him after that. It's good to see him bounce back. He had some really good at-bats tonight. He went 2 for 3, had an RBI, had a sac fly, did a good job at the plate. I thought he swung a really good bat tonight. Good for him there as well. What's up, Derek? Let's go, Frank. Yeah, let's go baseball. Do I think Appenzeller mid-relief or alternate with Brown? I was surprised to see Appenzeller tonight, to be honest. After Elander's comments over the weekend where he said, we brought him here to be a weekend guy, and then they threw him tonight. My initial thoughts were that he would be the midweek starter, but after Elander's comments, I was like, well, they're going to use him weekend. They'll go freshman. But, they did go a lot of freshmen tonight. But I don't know. A part of me thinks possibly it could have been a bullpen day for him. So maybe they just went ahead and let him throw tonight. I don't know. I'm guessing on that one. Because I thought maybe we would see Nick Abraham some tonight too. We didn't see him. We did see Bioto. I thought maybe we would see DJ McDowell or Chandler Day. Did not see either one of them. Sawyer Deering, another freshman, we didn't see as well. Maybe we'll see them next week. But the fact that Appenzeller got 4 innings in, and then you went after that. Let me get the box score back up here. Hendy an inning, Bioto an inning, Tracy an inning. Tracy, if I'm not mistaken, did start the 9th. Gave up a hit. Brady Frederick come in. Brady Frederick's an interesting one. He can have some good stuff, but, man, he left some pitches out over the plate as well. I fully expect Blake Grimmer is going to be a big part of that lineup for sure. Let's see. Antigua good. Oh, let me hit this super chat. Hunter Spencer, 9335 for $5, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your generosity. How about those lights helping us with 2 hits? No kidding, man. That was wild. Thank you so much, Hunter. I really appreciate you and your generosity on that. It's really greatly appreciated. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know. I know just from playing in the past, you get those it was probably that time of night. And some of you guys that have played have probably experienced the same thing. You get that time of night around then where you're kind of switching to dark. It's not fully dark, and it can be hard to pick up as well. And, I know they've done a lot of renovation stuff in there also, but yeah, those can be tricky there as well. But that was pretty wild though, because the one Jay Abernathy hit, I couldn't tell how far behind the dude it hit, but it was definitely later. It was definitely behind him on that one as well. But it's one of those, I've been there. I get it. It happens, and there's nothing you can do about it other than throw your hands up. And, it may be a case too where your left field guy who was closest is trying to help him out. I don't know, because I'm not there, and you just don't know where to go on that. But yeah, how about that? That was pretty wild with it as well. What's up, Dave? Member of the channel says, hey, Frank, nice win. Absolutely. Let's see. I see we got somebody that's been hitting the sauce pretty hard tonight. Ryan Ricky 23. It's been an early one tonight. Have a night, my man. And here spewing some craziness here. But let's see what we got here. Yeah, we'll see Texas later on. We'll see how that goes when they come in. UCLA's got Tennessee, A&M, and Mississippi. Well, we're going to find out. I want to find out what UCLA's got. That's all I've heard D1 baseball go on about is UCLA this and that. We're going to find out next Friday a little bit about UCLA. And I'm just telling you now, I'm putting it out there. When number 21 for Tennessee, Mr. Tegan Coons, goes at it, he's going to shut them down. That's just the bottom line on that. They're going to find out what playing SEC teams is all about, and they're going to find out what facing a first-round draft pick is like on the mound. I'm just going to I'm telling you, it's going to happen there. And if not, I'll come here and eat the crow. I have no problem with it, but I have a pretty good feeling he's going to shut them down next week. Road ahead for this team. I'll probably go about 8 more minutes. Here, you got 56 of you in here. It's a pretty good crowd for baseball, especially a midweek game. Again, I don't know, man. I've been fired up for this game all day. It's not a big game by any means, but obviously I live in Asheville, so UNC Asheville's kind of like the hometown here where I'm at. Tennessee's my team, obviously, since I'm covering it. But I need to catch some UNC Asheville games. I need to check out who they got coming in this year. I thought I wish they would have mentioned it during the telecast because they talked a little bit about Asheville last year and how they had the Big South pitcher of the year, Clay Edmondson. But they failed to mention, and some of you may mention, he signed with Tennessee. He was coming as a grad transfer, and then he got drafted. And, at that point, you got to sign while you've got that leverage with it. He did sign, but Clay Edmondson, he was a submarine guy as well, or a side armor, and he would have definitely, I would have been curious to see where he fit in, if he would have been in the rotation or coming out of the bullpen with it as well. I don't know if that would have changed things. I mean, you had him, Mason Estrada coming from JUCO, and you had Matt Barr as well. Or let me rephrase that. Matt Barr was coming from JUCO. Mason Estrada, if I'm not mistaken, was coming from like prep school. But all three of those guys got drafted, and they did choose to sign. But they did mention that connection with Clay Edmondson, who pitched for UNC Asheville. But, again, they didn't mention he was coming to Tennessee before getting drafted with that as well. So, I mean, that was 3 arms, and they were all – Edmondson was a little different in terms of his delivery. Matt Barr and Mason Estrada were supposed to have some high-level stuff. So, could have been interesting to see them. My impressions right now, I would think – I think this is a good – I think Arvidsson, Grimmer, I think we'll see him by Arlington. I'm curious to see if we maybe see Arvidsson this weekend, possibly. But I would think worst case we see him by Arlington. I totally agree on that one. What's up, M. Hanson? Good to see you in here, man. I said I was going to talk about Brady Frederick on it. He's gotten hit a little bit on his out. They're hitting him hard, and the announcers made mention of it. How he'll get ahead with a couple good pitches, and then he's leaving it right out over the plate. That's not going to play for him. And we saw him last year, and he pitched for ETSU. He can have some good stuff. There's no doubt about it. But he got hit pretty hard Saturday against Nichols in Game 3, and I thought Asheville's making some solid contact tonight. Now, the alignment played well with it up the middle with Finley Bates and, being able to roll it double play to Antigua, Hunter High making the stretch there as well. But, with his stuff, I think his arm angle, he can present some problems. But if he's grooving it right down the middle, teams are going to light him up on that. We've got to get his I don't know. Again, you put it right down the middle, these guys are going to hit it. I mean, Asheville was hitting him hard. Nichols was hitting him hard as well. I still think he's going to be an asset to this team, but I do think there's some tweaks. Maybe it's just location right now that's off too. But I know in fall and spring he's gotten hit a little. Well, I say spring, winter coming up to it. He's gotten hit a little bit there as well. So, we'll see how it goes with that as well. And it is there's no doubt. It is definitely it's definitely an adjustment from the SoCon to the SEC. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about that. Somebody else mentioned the lights. It was pretty wild with the lights. I'll get back into football, basketball. I don't know, man. It just baseball's my thing. I'm debating some ideas with baseball in general, not just Tennessee, but not like all baseball. Possibly the House of Orange will always be a channel, but there is the thoughts of a second one just dedicated to any baseball, which I think would be a blast on there as well. Kent State scored 7 on LSU today. I'm curious, Kent State. Let's pull them up and kind of look at them. If I'm not mistaken, they went 3-0 last weekend. Because I was watching a little bit of them against LSU last night, and then it was kind of going a little later. Let's see here. Let's see. They played Southeastern Louisiana the first 3 games, and they won 8-3, 11-2, 14-7. Yeah, last night they played LSU 10-7 was that game. So they scored some runs late. I can't remember what the score was when I was watching it. So they're going to come in. I think they will be a step up from Nichols this weekend. I really do. As far as where I want to see what they did last year. Here, 38-18 last year, 23-7 in conference. I'm trying to recall if they would have been in the tournament or not. That sounds to me like it could have been good enough to be, but then it looks like they were not. Their last game was against Toledo, so they got put out of their conference tournament, the MAC tournament. It looks like they beat Ball State, lost to Miami of Ohio, and then got put out by Toledo. So they had a pretty good – they were not a bad team last year, though, 38-18, 23-7. I'll have to dive into here later in the week what they're returning, who they picked up, whether they pick up from JUCO, whether they picked up portal guys as well. I know I've watched different teams around this week. Like I like to watch Cal State Fullerton some, and I know they had numerous guys transferring in from bigger schools, and some of them were pretty highly rated dudes who went to UCLA. I know of one, and they just couldn't get on the field at UCLA, so they came there. It could be the same with Kent State and some of these teams as well. You get some of these guys that it just doesn't pan out, and they go to one of these kind of mid-majors, still a decent baseball school. So I want to dive into them later on this week to see again, who they've got returning and who they picked up that's part of it as well, as far as their lineup and their pitchers. But we'll see the same thing again this weekend. We'll see Coons Friday, we'll see Max Saturday, we'll see Blanco Sunday. We'll see how that carries over as we're looking at schedule-wise. Tennessee goes let's see, Friday 4:30, Saturday 4 o'clock, Sunday 1 o'clock. We'll wrap it up. As far as weather goes for the weekend, let me see what it's looking like down there, because that could, I would imagine if there's any kind of weather deals, they might go doubleheader again. Oh, it's calling for rain all weekend. 67 Friday, 61 Saturday, 46 Sunday in Knoxville, 65, 55, and 65% chances of rain, respectively, the 3 days, 70% on Thursday, it looks like. So it would not surprise me, especially if that 46 on Sunday, if they don't move it up and go Saturday doubleheader again, if there's a good window on it. And I couldn't blame them on that. Let's see here. I think it'll be Bo Rudy. I really do. I think I think he'll be kind of a segue guy. I think Bo Rudy is a closer. I really do, especially after he come in and had a good inning this weekend. I could see Arvidsson when he gets ready, closing some games down. I'm still curious. I'm kind of fascinated how they're going to use Appenzeller after he pitched Saturday and then after he went 4 innings tonight. So that one could be kind of interesting how they go with it. But I think when it boils down to it and it's all said and done, I think Bo Rudy's your closer on this. I would have thought Frederick coming in, but I don't know. I can't say I'm sold on him right now until some things tweak on it. Krenzel, I'm interested to see with him. He could possibly do it, but again, I expressed concern on Krenzel with his control. Well, if he fixes that control, he could do pretty good in that regard. look at some of your left. I mean, I think a guy like Hendy is more. I think he's more situational. Again, I mean, Arvidsson and Rudy is probably where I could get. It could be Abraham. It could be him. It's possible with that. But just looking at, I'm trying to look to see if there's anybody. There's Frederick coming out of the pen, Rudy Krenzel. I'm not really counting that. I'm curious to see if Bioto's role increased. He was pretty highly regarded coming in. Abraham, like was mentioned. I mean, goodness, could you close Blaine Brown? Possibly. It'd be interesting. I mean, especially if he's in left field. Could you bring him in out of left field to do it? I don't know, man. They got a few ways they could go on that one as well. I did not. That does not. Kentucky is probably one of the better base running teams. And we remember last year how they ran all over Tennessee. They made Tennessee look like a peewee team last year on the bases. I was embarrassed when I watched that as to how bad they made Tennessee look on the base paths. It was ridiculous, man. But they are really good on the bases, Kentucky. I had not seen that, but that's pretty wild in 3 games to go 23 for 23 on that. And, they're not above still in second nor third base on it. They really aren't. Can't beat ECU, Ohio State, Pitt last year. That's some pretty good wins, especially ECU on it, no doubt. So, yeah, it looks like they were a pretty good team last year. Looking back, too, I had their schedule because they had played. Let's see. Yeah, they beat East Carolina in Greenville. They played Virginia Tech, lost them 7-2. Looks like it was kind of a little classic there in East Carolina and Greenville. And then they beat Indiana State. Indiana State's had some decent teams last few years, so that's a good win that they had. Lost to Wright State. Of course, Tennessee will see Wright State. They did play Bowling Green, which had Garrett Wright and had what's the other dude that Tennessee was going to get? That was the two-way guy. And he ended up signing, I think it was the Astros. I have to go back and look at DJ. I have to go back and look at it. They beat Bowling Green 2 out of 3. They were supposed to have played Oregon and got canceled twice. Swept Toledo. Yep, beat Ohio State 8-3. Miami of Ohio was the team in the MAC last year. They won 1 out of 3 in the season series, and then they lost in the conference tournament to them. Beat Ohio, swept Ohio. Beat Wright State again later on. So, yeah, this is not a bad team coming in this weekend. It's it's a team I think they should take care of business, but still, yeah, man. I mean, you're going to get into some of these because you look at the schedule. You got Kent State this weekend. You have got Bellarmine next Tuesday, 4 o'clock. Then you go down to Arlington, UCLA. You've got Arizona State, and you got Virginia Tech. 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11:30 a.m. respectively on those 3 games. ETSU comes in. That'll be a fun one. That week after Arlington, they've got 2 midweek games. That's some odd scheduling in respect that after they return from Arlington, they're going to play 2 midweek games that week. I'm surprised they're not doing it after a weekend homestand, but I guess it is what it is. They got ETSU in Oakland, Wright State, March 6th through 8th. Tennessee Tech, we know with Tennessee Tech coming in. I mean, Tennessee Tech got them a couple years in a row. Actually, I said 2022 went undefeated against non-conference. No, they didn't because Tennessee Tech beat them at the Smoky Stadium when they did Wooden Bat. DJ Newman, that's it. M. Hanson, thank you. I knew it was DJ something. That's it. DJ Newman, a guy who could have been a 2-way dude for sure. Thank you on that one. UCLA did lose, huh? I did not pay attention to that. Let's see. Who did they? I know. Let's see. Who did they play this weekend anyway? They played UC San Diego, lost to them 8-7 on Sunday. Interesting. UCLA's got TCU this weekend. That'll be a fun series. Oh, yeah, I see where somebody said it earlier. UCLA gets Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State and Arlington. We're going to find out what they're made of next couple weeks. For sure, next couple weekends. We'll see just how good they really are. I mean, I think they've got a lot of talent, but we'll kind of see where it goes from there. So, again, another solid night, 10-3 win. You got to see a lot out of your pitching. Again, Appenzell run into a little bit of adversity early, and then he bounced back and had I thought he had a good outing with 4 innings, 2 runs, and they got him pretty quick on that one as well. We got to see a lot of guys tonight. Your lineup, I mean, I maintain I love the top 2, Henry Ford, Blaine Brown. I'm not messing with that. I've been on that one for a pretty good while. If I'm not mistaken, maybe even going back to fall that I was on that one. I'm totally an advocate of I want my best hitters hitting at the top. And to me, that's your best 2 guys. And I really don't know that it's close. I'm curious to see how it plays out. Guys I'm watching, obviously when Manny Marin is back ready to go, he's going to be your shortstop on that. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But Antigua made a good case tonight. Jay Abernathy made a good case for himself. Again, I thought Newstrom swung a good bat tonight also. I think there's 4 to 5 guys who are going to have to produce, or there will be other guys waiting to take over for him. I really do. And like I said, good luck keeping Tyler Myatt out of the lineup, and I don't see how you're going to keep Blake Grimmer out of it as well. And I've heard really good things about Garrett Wright also. So this is one of those lineups. I really think you better produce, or you're going to be watching somebody else do the producing. It's bottom line on that one. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to wrap up on that one. But you guys have a good rest of your night. I'm going to do some research on Kent State to see what they've got coming back, or what they had coming back this year, who they've added, who to watch out for. So I'll get something up probably Thursday on that. So I hope you check that out as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. The plan as of right now, we'll try to hit as much live as I can for baseball, even if it's 30. We're almost 40 minutes here tonight. It's really cool to talk Tennessee baseball. Cannot stress that enough. I hope more people will find it. More people will come in later on. But you guys that have been here both nights so far, that you check out the comment, cannot thank you guys enough. I really appreciate you. So you guys have a good rest of your night. This is the House of Orange TV, and I'll see you when I see you.